Hi, welcome to Yoga with Carmen. I'm here to guide you in a yoga sequence that's designed to strengthen the quads in the legs and to help stabilize the knee joints. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with our hands and knees on the mat and taking a few cat and cow postures. So place the knees about hip width apart. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, widening a little bit through the fingers, but really grounding into the palms. Tuck the toes under, tip the tailbone up, and gently lift the chin, inhaling through the nose. Release the toes, round the back, and pull the belly button up underneath the rib cage, tucking the chin to the chest as you exhale through the nose. So those are the two postures for now. Bringing some flexibility into the spine. The more that you focus on the breathing, the more fluid the movement will become. So take a few rounds of these postures. You can do them faster than I'm doing them or slower, but I want you to guide them with your breath. So inhale as you look up, and then as you round and tuck the chin, exhale. And try to do the breathing through the nose. Lifting and lowering the chin. I like to think that my tailbone is doing the same movement as my chin is, so I can get some mobility around the lower back, which tends to hold, for me, a lot of tension. Now I'm going to come to cow posture, and I'm going to start to lift up my knees. As I exhale, I'm going to lift my hips up and start to push my head back towards my feet, starting to lower the heels and really breathing into the backs of the legs. All right, so a common mistake that I see is that people are too far forward. They tend to not want to push back. So try to do that, keeping that tailbone lifted. And we're going to start to pedal out the legs. This is our down dog. So breathe in and out of the nose. And then we're going to start to come to a little flow, pulling the head forward, coming to this upper push-up position as you inhale, and then as you exhale, push back. Lift up the tailbone, let the head drop. Inhale again, coming forward. Exhale, lift up, pushing back. See if you can get the backs of the legs a little longer by lifting up the tailbone and grounding down through the heels. Don't worry if they don't touch the floor, but just make sure that they're starting to press down towards the floor so you can get that stretch in the backs of the calves and into the Achilles. So take one more round. Inhale forward. Exhale, lift. And then we're going to drop the knees to the floor. Take a child's pose, just enough so that you can release the spine, let the head go, and then roll through the wrists. See if you can pull all your attention to your movement, to your breathing, letting whatever activities you were doing before you started the video, let them go, and really allow yourself these next few minutes to pay attention to the body, to pay attention to how it feels, and to appreciate what it is. A work in progress, right? A work in progress. So take one more round of cat and cow. Inhale. Exhale, round. Come to downward dog. Lift up those hips. Press the head back. Give it a little shake. And then look up at the front of the mat. Walk the feet forward. We're going to come to a forward fold. So place your feet in a number 11 shape. Let your belly lay right onto the thighs. Wrap the arms behind the back. As you inhale, we're going to bring the hands to the front of the shins. Lift up halfway. Notice I kept a little bend in my knees. Really pull the shoulders back away from the ears and up towards the ceiling. Open the arms wide, rise all the way up to the sky. Take a breath in. Let your left hand crawl down your left leg as you arch over to the left side. Spin your right armpit upwards towards the ceiling and put a little more weight into that right foot. Inhale, bring that left arm up, and we're going to reverse this, taking now the right hand down the leg, arching over to the right, spinning the left armpit towards the ceiling and putting a little more weight into that left foot. Keep the neck nice and loose. On your next breath in, lift both arms back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold over the legs, slight bend in the knees. Wrap your arms behind your thighs. Let your nose come towards the shins. Keep your neck nice and loose. Inhale again up, halfway. Plant your hands on either side of your feet and take the left foot as far back as you can. Pause here, lift up the shoulders, take a breath in, and as you exhale, lower the back knee to the floor. Make sure that your heel is directly under the kneecap. Lift the arms all the way up, inhale, and exhale, press the shoulders down. Inhale here again, and exhale, press into the front big toe. Inhale once more, reaching a little higher with those fingertips. And then exhale, take the left hand on the inside of your front foot. The right hand comes to the hip. I'm going to lift up the back knee, lift up the chest, and start to turn towards that bent knee, reaching my right arm up towards the ceiling. See if you can pull your belly button away from your bent knee as you breathe in and out of the nose. On your exhale, bring that right hand down on the outside of the right foot. Start to hinge that tailbone up towards the ceiling, keeping the belly on the thigh, starting to straighten the knee, but the straightening comes from the lift, right? Not from pushing back into the back of the knee, but lifting so that you can get a nice stretch on the hamstring. Let the head go, bringing the nose to the knee. And then we're gonna bring that front foot to the back, downward facing dog. Notice the difference in the right and left leg. And as you breathe in, come forward. Take that plank posture. Pull the thighs up towards the bones. Bend through the elbows, not all the way, but just enough to get a little work into the triceps. And then shift yourself forward, landing the belly, peeling the shoulders back. Take an inhale, tap the forehead on the floor, push yourself back to child's pose. On your next breath in, tuck your toes under, lift up the tailbone, come to the downward dog, shaking your head a little bit, just making sure that neck is nice and loose. Look up at the front of your mat, walk the feet forward. Wrap your arms behind your hamstrings. Pull the belly in. Give yourself a hug. Lift up halfway. Open the arms all the way out. Bring the hands to center. And take a breath in. On your next exhale, lift up the arms. Inhale here. And dive over the legs, wrapping the arms behind the hamstrings. Lifting up halfway, plant your hands on either side of the foot. Take the right foot this time, all the way to the back of the mat. Lift up through the chest and make sure you're pushing that back heel back so that you get that stretch on the leg. We're going to drop the knee, take the arms all the way up, really pressing into that front foot. And we're going to take a couple of breaths here. Really fill the lungs, reaching the arms up, but pull the shoulders down. You can even widen the arms a little bit. On your next breath in, take the right hand to the inside of the left foot. Left hand comes to the hip. Lift up the back knee and twist, turning into that left knee. Make sure your left knee is coming inwards towards your belly. Reach that left arm up. On your next breath in, take a big stretch, leaning back and bring the hand to the outside of your left foot. Keep your belly on the thigh as you start to lift up the hips. Don't worry about how high they go. Just get the stretch in your hamstring. Let your head go. Really focus on lifting up. So there's not a lot of pressure on the hands, right? The pressure is pressed into the feet. On your next breath in, bring your foot back, come to downward dog. Inhale forward, plank posture. Pull everything up away from the mat. Start to bend the elbows. You're going to shift yourself forward, land the belly, peel the shoulders back, baby cobra posture. Drop the head gently to the floor. Come back to child's pose. Take a deep breath in. Meeting me again into your downward facing dog. Take another breath in. Looking up at the front of the mat, walk or start to float the feet forward. Coming to the front of the mat, wrap the arms behind the legs. Inhale up halfway. Open the arms wide and fly all the way up to the sky. This time we're going to bring the hands to the chest and start to bend the knees. All right, keep your shoulders up, lifted. As the tailbone reaches back, you're going to put a little more weight in the heels so the toes are light. And you're going to pause here, getting some heat, some work on the tops of those thighs. All right, take another breath in. And then release. Come to straight, but lift up the right leg. Circle out the ankle. Take a little balance. Notice what the shoulders have done. See if you can keep them engaged. So you're practicing this good posture while balancing. All right. Now, drop the foot back down in that number 11 pose, and then sit back in your Utkatasana. This is awkward chair pose. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, dive it down. Wrap the arms behind the thighs. Inhale up halfway. Plant the hands onto the mat. Take the left foot to the back. Now from here this time, we're not going to drop the knee. We're going to lift up into a high crescent lunge. If you need the support of your leg, please place your hands on your thighs to come up. Otherwise, press into the feet. Start to lift the shoulders up. Taking a breath here. Inhale and exhale. If you need to, you can always place the hands at your hips. It gives you a little more stability. All right, but we're going to start to bend the back knee down and up. Little presses down and up. I really want you to pay attention to that front knee. See if you can keep it straight in line, right on top of your heel. If it is jutting in front of the foot, I'd like for you to scooch that front foot forward so that it doesn't go ahead of the toes. All right? If you want to add a little more intensity, reach those arms up. All the while bending that back knee slightly and up. So it's like little pulses with the leg. You're going to feel it a lot in your thighs. On your next breath in, reach up, pause. Take the hands to the floor, straighten the back knee. Take a breath here, guys. Keep the left hand where it is. Right hand comes to the hips. We're going to twist again, like we did at the beginning. Reach that arm up, and then bring it down. On the outside of the right foot, lift up the hips, the tailbone, the head comes down. Take a breath, and then meet me in downward dog. Inhale forward to your plank. Bend through the elbows, shift yourself forward, land the belly, peel the shoulders back. Baby cobra. Exhale, drop the forehead, come all the way back to child's. And then meet me again in downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Maybe shake out the head. Maybe pedal out the legs. We're going to repeat that sequence to the other side. So look up at the front of your mat. Walk or float the feet to the front. Wrap the arms behind the thighs. And lift up halfway. Take a breath in. Open the arms. Come all the way up. And then bring the hands to the heart. Start to bend the knees, coming back to that awkward chair pose, Utkatasana, firing up the thighs. Notice that I shifted my tailbone back a little bit. That's what really fires up the thighs. We want to have these quadriceps strong. They support the knee joint, right? Keeping it in place. So don't be afraid to look down every once in a while and check out where your knees are. You should be able to see your toes, all right? We're going to come to straight, this time lifting up the left leg. Notice that I'm keeping a little bend in my standing leg, so I'm not locking the knee joint. I'm circling the ankle, flexing, pointing, and breathing. That's important. I'm going to place the left foot back down, come back to that Utkatasana, and then fire up the arms. Take a deep breath in, exhale, fold yourself down. Wrap the arms behind the legs. Inhale up halfway, planting the hands on the outsides of the feet. This time the right foot goes all the way to the back. Pausing here, making your way up. Again, if you need the stability, use your thigh to lift the shoulders up. See if you can get them back all the way over the hips and start to pulse that back knee. All it is are tiny bends. All right, but I really want you to focus on that front big toe. That's what's keeping the stability, right? We tend to be stronger on the outsides of our thighs because they're supported by our glutes. Right, so the inner thigh, which is a smaller muscle, and the inside of that knee loses a little bit of strength. So here we're stabilizing that knee joint. Excellent, excellent for any athlete that does side-to-side movements. Hockey players, basketball players, football players, boxers, and soccer players. All right. Again, if you want to add the intensity, stretch those arms up. Keep breathing. The oxygen that you breathe fuels the muscles. And believe me, they need it. All right, so take a little pause. Keep that knee slightly bent. Inhale, reach the arms up. On your exhale, bring them to the in and out of the front foot. We're going to straighten that back knee. The right hand grounds, the left hand comes to the hip. Start to turn. Lifting that left arm up. Inhale here in this beautiful twist. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Come to stretch that hamstring. Leave the belly on the thigh. Lift up the tailbone. Inhale, pull that nose towards the shin. Meet me in downward dog. Big breath in. Come to your plank pose and pause. Bend through the elbows. Shift yourself forward while the belly lands the shoulders. Peel back forehead on the floor. Come to child's pose and breathe. Great job. Now we're going to slide the hands to the knees. So we're going to end in hero's pose. It's a stretch for the quads, which we've been working, all right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to the middle of my mat. My knees are not going to touch. There's a little space, a little bit less than 2 fists, all right? But what I am going to do is take my feet to the outsides of my mat, all right? I'm going to sit down in between my feet, 1 foot on each side of my hips. All right, if you need a little cushion, right, the hips don't go all the way down, use a blanket or a book or a block if you have one. All right, you should feel the stretch in the thickest part of the muscles. If you start to feel it at the knee joint, you probably need a little lift in the hips. All right, so if it's possible, all right, you're going to lay all the way down. The lower down you go, the more you're going to feel the stretch in the quads, which we did work today. So that's why I want to stretch them. All right, you can lay all the way down, flat on your back. But another option, okay, if you're having any issues, is to do one leg at a time. So I'll show you by lifting one leg up, coming down to the back, and then you would just reverse it. All right, I would take about 3 to 5 breaths here in this hero pose. And if you're doing one leg at a time, make sure that you switch with the other side. All right, when you're done, come down to lie down. Feet towards the sides of your mat. Hands wherever they're comfortable. Close the eyes and take as many breaths as you need to let the muscles settle, to allow yourself to relax before you re-enter whatever you have planned for the remainder of your day. And as you lie there, I'd like for you to bring in one word. Maybe make it your intention for today. And that word is appreciation. Give yourself appreciation. Give your current situation, whatever your life has for you right now, give it appreciation. And I wish you a beautiful day. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.